Returns are some of the most frustrating things for sellers on Amazon, usually because it's unwarranted as to why the customer is returning it. Somebody buys 5 of one type of item in different sizes and they return 4 of them. And it artificially inflates a product's overall return values, and it really is a headache for most sellers. Amazon is also making it even more of a headache starting in August of 2026. So, what exactly is changing with returns, and what are some of the things you can do about it? My name is Noah Wickham. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy. And Amazon, as of August 2026, is making it so the option to add return instructions in your return settings will no longer be available. What this is simply put in your return settings, which all you have to do is go up to this little gear icon up here and go to return settings. Amazon is making it so essentially you can no longer write specific instructions. This was super helpful if you're a seller who has, let's say, a very large, bulky product of some kind, and people need to return it in a very specific fashion, or even if people want to return just part of an order versus the actual full order. Well, unfortunately, you're no longer going to have that option, so it makes it kind of annoying. But what are some of the options you do have when it comes to the return settings? Well, first and foremost, we're going to look at these different labels and what they mean. So, the very first thing, marketplace, this is self explanatory. Many people probably look at authorization. So, authorization is going to be either manual or in policy Amazon, and this is going to be primarily dependent on if you are an FBA or FBM seller. Most of the time for the US, it's going to be in policy. And if you enroll in Amazon prepaid return labels, it will go in policy immediately. This means that it goes along with Amazon's return policy and not one that you set yourself. Now we have label type. There are going to be two types of labels. If you have enrolled again in the prepaid labels, you're only going to have Amazon prepaid. If you are not enrolled in this, you can have unpaid label or seller prepaid label as your options here. For an unpaid label, what that means is that you are sending a label to the customer, but they are required to actually pay upon that label when they're submitting for the return. This also will only submit and send returns from the exact address that you shipped it from in the first place. For the seller prepaid labels, that essentially means that you yourself, as the seller, are taking the burden of paying that label ahead of time. But don't fret, you can usually get that cost back. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now we have our return merchandise authorization, or RMA. Basically, who gets to decide the actual return merchandise, and you have the option between Amazon and seller. Now, if you're somebody who really doesn't want to have to deal with any of your returns, you're going to choose Amazon, and Amazon will then say, okay, this person can return this person cannot return this, which, as Amazon's policy states, they're just going to let anyone return anything. But you can switch this over to seller, and then you will have that option to actually be the one to do it. And that would also, at the end of the day, go in line with the authorization over here for that. So we'll keep this at Amazon for now. Then we have labels for exempt items. Exempt items would, again, be things such as large and bulky. So if you're somebody who sells furniture, this is where these label types won't come in hand. If you also sell something that's handmade or custom, that also is going to be an exempt item. You can actually see all of the different ones if you go and look up the exempt items for prepaid labels on Amazon Seller Central. But we have down here the same label type as we saw up here of unpaid or seller prepaid, works the exact same way. And then we finally have return instructions, which again are going away as of August this month. As I'm recording this is August 4th, so it is going to be going away here shortly. So when you go through this process and you're trying to figure out what is best for me, really depends. If you're an FBA seller, you don't have to deal with a lot of this nearly ever, and you're pretty much just going to go with the Amazon prepaid, have Amazon do the RMA for you, and you're going to do unpaid labels for anything that is exempt. But if, and this big if, you are FBM, that's where this gets a little bit trickier. And one of the major things that I would really encourage you to do is figure out having a return solution provider. There are a couple different ones. I'll probably link them down below. One of my favorites is actually Axiom Returns. They're a partner here at My Amazon Guy, and they're kind of great what they do. They can help you actually get money back for a lot of your returns. But why is it that these unpaid labels and the seller prepaid labels are so important? And that comes down to one specific thing, which is if you come on over here to your orders, is safety claims. So safety claims are essentially a claim that you can make when you receive an item back from a seller. You can see none here, and that is because currently speaking, we don't have any, and this account doesn't do anything with FBM or get any of those back. And they let Amazon determine all of the data and actually go through and say, okay, this can be sold, this can't. They do the grading and reselling for them. Now, if you actually get the return sent over to you and you want to do a safety claim, you always have that option. The biggest thing with safety claims at the end of the day is a couple. One, if you go more than 4 days after you receive the item and you do not submit a claim or anything along those lines, Amazon will automatically refund the customer and you can no longer submit a safety claim. Now, that being said, if you do something like a seller prepaid label and you receive that product back and you submit a safety claim, you can submit that for up to that label cost plus up to usually 50% of the actual item price. Those are two really big things. That 50% of item price is typically going to be a restocking fee that you can charge to customers if you're selling something FBM. One of the major things I would also look at is what your category is, because it changes based on what type of product you have. Amazon months ago, back in February, actually changed how this whole authorization goes for prepaid labels and such. So a lot of different people now in the US have to do the Amazon prepaid labels. But again, if you're somebody who sells large and bulky, you still don't. You still are exempt. And so the exemption is what really matters for those labels. So if you are doing a seller prepaid label to the customer, a lot of times you can still file for that and get that money back and recoup that if it is a valid safety claim, which majority of the time, if you're filing one, you should get a valid refund from that as well. So this is one of the more annoying factors when it comes to Amazon with returns and dealing with it, but it's something every single Amazon seller has to deal with at some point in time. And again, this is something that we do all the time here at My Amazon Guy and help our customers and clients out with that. So if you're somebody who's struggling with returns right now, feel free to leave a comment down below. Ask any questions you have. I'll respond to every single one. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more how-tos and updates like this one. And if you're needing a good return solution provider, feel free to reach out to us here at My Amazon Guy. I can connect you directly with Axiom Returns or several other of our return partners that we work with.